Father's Day was interesting this year. I came back on the day before Father's Day from this wine cruise that Diana and I had done. It's a great deal. Barcelona to Venice. 60 plus customers from our mailing list went on a cruise with us. A fantastic time, and then we spent some time before in Valencia, some time afterwards in the south of France, and I came back relaxed, got to Texas where my in-laws were staying. My in-laws live there, but my kids were staying with my in-laws. And that was the day before Father's Day, a Saturday. I wake up on Sunday morning and I go in to brush my teeth and I look at myself in the mirror and I look a little odd. My face is a little off. My smile's a little crooked. I have dinner with the in-laws and we're getting ready to go out again, and I go in to brush my teeth again. I guess maybe I brush my teeth too much, who knows, or my dentist is fine with that. But and I'm like, boy, my smile looks really odd. So I called in my daughter, who's 10, and I'm like, Amber, does my smile look odd? She's like, yes, your smile's really weird, Daddy. So I'm like, I gotta call Diana. So Diana comes in, and my smile, as you can see, is all awkward and sideways. And she calls her parents in, and they're like, this is not good. And the first thing is it a stroke? And so we're in small town Texas. We call my sister-in-law and my niece who live there. They're nurses, and they're like, it sounds like this thing called Bell's palsy, but it might be a stroke, and you only have a certain number of hours in case it's a stroke to get to the hospital. You better go to the hospital. So we drive to the hospital in this small town, spend a good part of Father's Day there, just because emergency rooms take forever. And they diagnosed it as a thing called Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy is a virus that affects the nerves, usually on half of your face, in my case the left side. So my smile is very crooked. I drool a little bit sometimes. I can't close my eye. That's the weird, like at night, and I've learned this, I can like close it and keep it closed, but I can't like manually close it, blinking, all sorts of things. It usually lasts 3-ish months. It's like 90% of people, it's temporary. The other 9.9, it stays with them, but in a minor way, and there's like 0.1 that it never goes away. So it's been real interesting as somebody who tastes wine and blends wine and tastes grapes and all of that to try to work around it. The best person is a guy named James Hall, who owns Pat's and Hall Winery, who had it, but he had a much rarer form where it affected both sides of his face, and this was some years ago, and he went through it. And James is somebody I've known a long time. I've always thought of as a very good friend and also a good winemaker, but he has given me such incredible advice, incredible support, saying that he became a better taster afterwards. I've learned certain things. I was tasting with a friend of mine, and I said, I think this wine's a little corked. And he's like, I don't really think it is. And then after it warmed up, he's like, Adam, you were right. You got that, and it's very slight. I'm picking up TCA, corkiness, picking up alcohol and VA in a wine more than I've ever picked up before. But I bet you I'm missing other flavor elements as well. But I'm learning to taste through it. And assuming it does go away, I think I'm going to be a better taster because of having dealt with this. But it's a real challenge. It's really interesting. I hid it for a while. Didn't post on Facebook, but then I had a picture that I posted with a guy who came to our winery, and people were like, you should be thrilled to see this guy. And people were just giving me grief. Why aren't you smiling? That kind of thing. And I give people grief all the time. These are friends of mine. I'm like, I finally need to tell people. So I just came straight out and said, hey, here's what I got going on. Here's why it didn't look like I'm smiling. I'm just going to be myself from now on. I'm going to smile, and it's going to look goofy. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be myself. And the last thing I got to say on the smiling end of thing, at least my wife read this, George Clooney blames his slightly crooked smile on his Bell's palsy. And my wife's like, damn, if you end up looking like George Clooney, you should have gotten Bell's palsy a long time ago. I'm like, thank you, honey, so much for the support there. But it's been really interesting to learn to deal with it.